These are the luxury items you're considering. Yes, every so often I put up a little story on my Instagram and I ask you guys, what are you considering? What are you thinking about? What are you pondering over? And if you would like my input as to whether or not I think it's worth it, then drop it in the little question box. Actually, I get a lot of suggestions, so I won't be able to do all of them, but I will do my best. Guys, if you are new here, my name is Cassie and I'm a self-diagnosed luxury addict. I put out videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, so if you like luxury fashion, then you're probably gonna love it here. So head down there, subscribe, turn on the bell, become a member of our luxury addicted family. When are we going to rehab? Never. Large Andiamo versus the Voyager version. So it is the same bag, but it's a different like variety. So you've got the typical Andiamo, which is, you know, the intrecciato weave and all of that, or the Voyager version is done in a canvas with leather corners and, you know, other sort of leather details. It's a very interesting variation. Personally, and I know that we go to Bottega for the intrecciato weave, I would go for the Voyager version because I think it's a bit different. I think that it is not the obvious choice, and the obvious choice would be the intrecciato weave because 2 + 2 = 4. So because of that, I would go for the Voyager. Clarification here, so the Voyager also does come in the intrecciato. I just saw the canvas one. The Voyager is a little bit more quote-unquote masculine. It has like a thicker crossbody strap and all of that business. I'm still inclined to go more towards that, but within that I would say the canvas. There's also a very cool two-toned one that is fantastic. Dries Van Noten mesh pumps in the green. Yes. These look great. They've got a really great sling back. They've got a juicy little lucite heel in like a moss green. I really like these. The mesh is also really nice and flexible and fine, so it's not going to be stiff or uncomfortable and things like that. It's a great heel height. I think it is a fantastic summer shoe. If I hadn't have bought my Gucci wedges, then I would probably have bought the Dries ones. They're really nice. I've seen them in person. Would recommend. The Balenciaga Bel Air tote bag. As we know, I have my thoughts on Balenciaga. So there's that. I will say though, with a new creative director coming in, this maybe changes things a little bit in that, obviously when new creative directors come in, we don't know what styles they like to keep. When it comes to like classic styles, you've got more of a chance of those bags staying, but some of the newer styles, more fashionable styles, tend to get killed off. That sounded so dramatic. And discontinued. So, as much as it's not a brand for me, right? I will say, if you do like this bag, I've heard good things about this bag, a lot of people like this bag. If it is something you want, you're better buying it now rather than waiting, because Pier Paolo is coming into Balenciaga, and who knows, the vibe may be wildly different. So this might kind of be your only chance. There also might be a few kicking around on Pre-Loved, so you might want to have a look at that one as well. Spinelli Kilcollin rings, specifically the Solarium in the mixed metals. Okay, I might have a bit of a controversial opinion here. I like Spinelli Kilcollin. I personally wouldn't buy any now because they are quite popular. And I also understand the fact that the price is really good and the look is very, you know, recognizable of the brand and all of that business. If I can just suggest another option, slightly different vibe, I'm just going to throw that out there. If you still want the Spinelli is still great, okay? It's a great brand. It's, you know, still an independent jewelry brand and all of that. And it's a good ring and it's durable and everybody I know that has them really likes them and all of that business, right? Have a look at By Pariah. Especially, they do one ring stack. It is not too much more than the Spinelli, and I think it's a little bit different, a little bit interesting. Just have a look. If you still want the Spinelli, go for the Spinelli. I'm considering a reissue of the Loewe Spring Summer 18 Playing Cards Green Suede Puzzle Bag. Yes. Loewe have gone and re-released 19 puzzle bags done in like amazing variations as their 10th anniversary of the puzzle bag. I think if you want any of these are great. The price, depending on the sort of style, they've got 2 price brackets, one for the more simple ones, one for the ones that like use more materials or whatever. The playing cards is great. I think it's fun, it's very collectible, it's interesting, 100% do it. Advice, you need an essay to get these bags. I managed to get a little bit of insider info, and not all the countries have all of the stock, so reach out to your essay and get in there quick. I know in the UK 2 of these have sold out already, so there we go. But it is an incredible, definitely, and I would say, I don't like to do one of those like you've got to buy it now, but for that one you might need to get your skates on. The Yvonne Leon Casino bracelet gives VCA vibes but cuter. I would agree. All of the little symbols are the playing card symbols. Do they have an official name other than just that? The spades, the hearts, and the clubs. And the diamonds. There we go. Clearly, not a big playing card person myself, but I think it's, I really like Yvonne Leon as a brand. I think it's great. The Loewe logo sandals. Being completely honest, not my fave. And I think that that's because I'm sort of moving away from like the Hermes Oran of it all. I'll still wear mine because I paid for it and I've got them, right? That one with like the logo there, I don't know. Personally, I'm not that into it. Have a look at Burberry's Check Muse slides. They, in my opinion, are the best designer slides out at the moment. I think it's also because the anagram is so big, which I understand because it's square and, you know, like you can't just have like a little one because then it doesn't actually go around. You understand? But I would honestly say Prada has some really good ones where it's just like simple with the triangle. In my opinion, this is just me, right? And then the other one are the Gianvito Rossi does some in metallic, if you want like a pop, where it's like almost like a wave. And I believe that they've gone into the sale, they do them silver and gold, and they're just like really fab and interesting and whatever. Burberry trench coat for men. Burberry trench coat for everybody. Honestly, it's a classic. It's a classic for a reason. It's excellent, especially if you live somewhere that has that sort of in-betweeny. It's not quite too warm, but it's not quite cold enough for a coat weather. You will not regret getting it. Ferragamo hug bag, right? And Bulgari two-tone serpenti watch. Every time somebody asks me about the serpenti watch, get it, I love it. Where's mine? It's over there. It's great, it's fantastic. 2 coils, you've even said 2 coils instead of 1, great. Coil it up. Coil it up the arm if we may. They do one like that, that's actually quite annoying. But that's great. Ferragamo hug bag, I wish you'd given me a little bit more specificity here because they do them in different sizes and in different sort of styles. The hug soft I particularly like because it's got that really great sort of shoulder bag. I think that the regular hug can look a little bit stiff, but that depends on the vibe that you're after. It also depends on the fabric that you want it in, right? Out of all of them, I would probably go for the hug soft. She seems a little bit more like easy and casual, depending on what you're after it for. Or the crossbody. I think the crossbody comes in some really great variations, and you can clutch her if you're looking for more of an evening-y bag moment as well. Mulberry Alexa in the medium versus Miu Miu Aventure. I've got a bit of a bias here because the Alexa bag sort of plagued me growing up. I saw it over and over again, and I think because of that, I've got a bit of an adversity to the Bayswater and the Alexa. I'm sorry, so that's just me. So in this case, I would do the Miu Miu Adventure, but those are 2 very different price brackets for that bag. I mean, the Mulberry one is nice. It's just, I'm gonna be Team Miu Miu on that one, I am. Louis Vuitton Speedy 35 black epi leather. Seen them gothed out and so chic. Yes, you already know the answer. That's a great one. I love Louis Vuitton epi leather. I think that it is very underrated. It's incredibly durable. It looks cool. It's got a little bit of something going out. And like you said, you can add all of your little magic charms and tricks to it, and she can be a completely whatever vibe you want her to be, she will be. Gucci horse bit shoulder. Oh, I'm going to assume that you mean the soft bit. That is, it's very good as a shoulder bag. The small version I don't think translates that well. I think that the larger version, it fits on the shoulder well. It is quite big, okay? But I like the fact that it's soft, it's malleable, it's moldable, all of that. Yeah. My first luxury watch, should I go Cartier or Bulgari? We've got 7 grand Singapore dollars as our budget, okay? You have got far much more choice in Cartier than you do in Bulgari. In Bulgari, you're really just looking at the Serpenti, I think it's called the Seduttori. Whereas with Cartier, you've got a lot. You've got a lot of choice there. You can go Panther, you can go Tank. yeah, you've got lots of options. So I really think Cartier is going to give you the best in terms of variety and being able to choose your style from there, really. So I'm going to be Team Cartier here, which I never really am in Cartier versus Bulgari, but there we go. Fendi Baguette, does it work well on a crossbody? Yes, it does. It works great every single which way you want it to work. You want it shoulder bag, you want it as a clutch, you want it as a crossbody, you want it just hanging over the shoulder. It works, you will not regret it, go for it. Okay, what do you think about Chrome Hearts clothing? You have to kind of there are elements to Chrome Hearts, right? So you've got like the merchy stuff, which is the stuff that like I'm buying. Then you've got like the Chrome Hearts, I'm gonna call it the Chrome Hearts ready to wear. That's the stuff that you've got the sterling silver buttons, you've got that kind of like jewellery hardware aspect that's really embedded into it. I will say the merch stuff is good quality. It washes well, it's durable, all of that business. It is overpriced because it's essentially Chrome Hearts merch. If you do love the brand and all of that, then the sterling silver buttons, those pieces that have a little bit more of that Chrome Hearts jewellery edge to it are going to be the better option, right? So, but it just depends on where your price point is. Overall, it's great, but you have to also buy into the brand and its hypiness and all of this business, because if you're not interested in that, then don't buy Chrome Hearts at all. You're not really missing out. It really is for like the hype and the vibe of it, and you know, because you respect the family or you like the look of it, and that kind of like gothic-y, rocky edge. So there we go. I don't know if that was in any way sort of helpful. The Jimmy Choo re-releases. I really like these. I think that some of the pricing for them is crazy. So if we do just like a quick whiz through, I really like the boots. Are the boots 1,700? Yes, should they be? I don't think so. I think the strappy is great. I think it's, you know, sensible heel height, all of that business. You'll wear it. She's going to do right by you, all of that. I think the Loewe is also great. It's also iconic. It's the shoe that Carrie is wearing in the Sex and the City, the title credits. It's an iconic shoe, all of that business, fine. This, the 72138, I don't think is all that durable. It is a very delicate suede, and you've got a feather on it, right? I mean, one step, if you live in a city like New York, they're going to be ruined after the first wear. So if you're heavy-handed, don't get those. The slide is not worth it in my opinion. I think the bow is the best. I think it is interesting. It's very like 90s Y2K, but in a way that, you know, will fit in with jeans or with a skirt or with loads of different clothing options. The boot, I told you, it's great. I think the price makes it not worth it. The thong is also fun, but for that price, nah, it's fine. It just, you know, if you love it, then fine. The flower as well, I'm like 1,200 for a little toe ring flower on a kitten heel with a sling bag. You know, it's not really doing it for me. But the bow, I think, is the best in terms of like value for money, impact. Louboutin dolly heels as a more re-wearable wedding shoe, yes. Especially the all-white patent is beautiful. If you do want to go down a crystally route or something like that, I think it still works for weddings, but obviously, again, it's less bridal. I even considered it for one of my like wedding looks kind of thing. They're comfortable, it's a great heel height, it's a style that you can wear over and over again, definitely. P9 Speedy or Capucines Mini. I'm gonna tell you the P9 every time, okay? Why? I think, then again, the Capucine is maybe a little bit more like chic for an evening moment. The Capucine is more, you can do day to day with it, but it's like a little bit more prim and proper / evening, whereas the Speedy is obviously much more casual, everyday, wear it, use it, love it. I'm biased, I'm gonna tell you the P9. Chanel Supermodel Quilted, Vintage Pink Linen Chanel Diana, Gucci Bamboo Diva. These are all extremely different bags. Okay, so the Chanel Supermodel is like a massive tote. The Vintage Pink Linen Chanel Diana is iconic, but the linen is not that hard wearing. So keep that in mind. The Gucci Bamboo Diva, I think, is fabulous. I love the handle of it. It is heavy. Crossbody, you can top handle all of this. She's also not going to be around for long, I suspect, what with Demna coming in. Chanel Supermodel you can get all the time, okay? The vintage pink linen Chanel Diana, I have a feeling you can't really come across those all that often, but it's not that hard wearing. Then you've got the Gucci Bamboo Diva that I suspect won't be around for much longer, but I think might go pre-loved, and Gucci's resale on pre-loved isn't particularly good, so you might be able to get a deal. In which case, although it is not as hard wearing, I'm going to tell you to do the pink linen Chanel Diana, because it's like an iconic bag, and that colorway specifically isn't going to be as easy to get as like a black leather. Ferragamo Hug bag, again, everybody's loving the Ferragamo Hug in cumin and the denim baguette with coral bandana embroidery. If you're choosing between the two, I would say the baguette with the coral embroidery. It's a little party for the eyes. I also like that sort of like coral on the denim. I think it's wearable, I think it's easy. The hugs I also suspect you might be able to find on sale. Whereas the Fendi you're not going to, so there we go. This is a little bit different of a question, but I thought it was interesting. With all the creator director musical chairs, any gut feelings to what brands you will consider looking at? I am now more interested in Balenciaga than I've ever been. I'm not even a big Pier Paolo fan, but I'm interested to see where that's going. I maybe think that I will be less interested in Loewe. I'm not even like a big Loewe purchaser, but I'm more of like an adorer of the brand. Very interested in Chanel, as per Mattia Blasi. I don't know too much about Louise Trotter for Bottega, but again, I'm sort of like intrigued as to where she's going to take it. Very interested in Sarah Burton for Givenchy. I can see me looking at Givenchy a lot. I can also see me now more interested in Alexander McQueen with Sean McGeer. I think that he's like finding his footing now, and I like where we're taking things. So yeah, that was just off it. Summer belt, Celine or the Hermes Kelly, what is cool yet understated. I am a Hermes Kelly belt stan. I think it's great. I love the fact that it's adjustable. It's also one of those, it's going to be great for summer, it's going to be great all year round. The Celine one is cute, it's tiny, it's got the little Triomphe print there, Triomphe logo there on the buckle, but I just really like the Hermes Kelly one, and again, you can wear it high-waisted, you can wear it low. It's going to be one of those belts that you have and you have it forever. Wedding guest heels that won't kill the toes. Jimmy Choo Saders, Rene Caovilla, Amine. Out of those three, for wedding guest, I've worn Rene Caovilla's to a wedding, and I've got something to mention here. These are great. I find that I can stay in them all night. We're not having any issues, all of that. This is the one with the flared heel. I think that that helps. So if you can go for the flared heel one, do that. Amina's are very comfy. You're not going to have an issue because the heel height is so good. The Saders, I sold mine, so maybe I am biased. So I'm going to say no to those. I'm going to say Renee or Amina. Do you want toes out or toes in? If you want toes in, do Amina. If you want toes out, do Renee. I've had a couple for the on Loewe sneakers. I don't tend to go for sneakers that look practical. Like, these are runners, they look like, I mean, obviously they're performance, you can run in them and all of that business. They are very popular, they're very comfortable. You're wanting to know if you should do practical sand or cute pink. Which one are you going to wear more? Which one is going to go with most of your closet? Which one is going to be your go-to? Because this is a shoe that you use, you wear. This isn't like a once in a while, like, oh, when the occasion arises, I put this on. So if you think you're going to wear the practical sand more, do that. If you think you're going to wear the cute pink more, do that one. Louis Vuitton Takeshi Murakami Cerise. I think that it's a good collection, especially if you like the cherries. I'm going to say I don't think you should get any of the white canvas, especially with that red interior. There's something there that I'm not sure about in terms of wear over time and whatever. I think that the denim pieces are great. I think that the best value for money item as part of that entire collection is the deck chair. I'm sorry, that is $1,800. It is a piece of furniture and it's limited edition and kind of iconic. I think that that's great. I think the charms are great. The shoes, I'm not a fan of the actual cherry heel that they're doing on some of them. I think that's almost like a little bit too cutesy for me personally. But I would say stick to the denim or stick to the normal monogram canvas with the cherries, and you'll be great. This person has submitted 2 pictures, one of a Raffia Chanel Kelly and one of a Miu Miu basket bag. I kind of feel like the execution of the Chanel Kelly isn't great in the Raffia. I feel like it almost looks, its edges are too rounded. And what I like about this is that it is very sort of sharp in its design, right? It looks like a bag that a child has drawn. It looks like a little grandmother's bag, and I think that is what its charm is. So by making it the Raffia, it sort of softens it a bit, and I don't think it translates as well. And then again, like, this one is almost too structured as a bag, as a basket bag, because it is actually out of wicker. But it's kind of chic. But it's also not going to be crossbody, like sitting nicely on the body. This is a tough one. In which case, I might say, if you want to wear it crossbody, go for the Chanel Kelly. If you want to simply top handle and have a moment and have a little summery vibe, then I think it's the Miu Miu. There we go. Khaite bags, particularly the Olivia Hobo in the pebbled leather. Yeah, the Olivia is a very easy bag if you want sort of understated, no logo. It's also great quality. Back to the Loewe 10-year re-edition. Which one? If I'm picking, it's the Cowboy. I think the Cowboy is phenomenal. My top 3 are the Cowboy, the Vanity, and the Cards. Those are so, so, so good. They're also all blue and green, okay? And I'm sorry, but I have a type. All right, and I'm not going to apologise for that. We've got another one, this little bow bag from Chanel that is Autumn/Winter 2025. I quite like this, and it took me a little while to get it. It looks a bit weird, and I know that some people can be like, it looks cheap, but I quite like the fact that this is an everyday bag that's got a crossbody, it's got a top handle, and looks a little bit out of the ordinary. Like, you can see this, oh, I'm popping to the shops on a Saturday, and then also I've got a lovely little evening dinner ahead of me, and she's going to work for both. Guys, I'm sorry that I keep telling you to get everything, but you have good taste. Etrovella, it's an excellent bag. It is one of the most innovative and interesting designer bags out right now, and extremely underrated. Any colour is great. I've tried it on in person. Quality is there. Yes. The Burberry tank top with side tabs is also one of the best designer tanks at the moment. JMM sunglasses, Jacques-Marie Homage. They're so much money for sunglasses, but so pretty. Just wondering if they're worth the spend. The thing with Jacques-Marie Homage, and they are very much a brand that, like, they're limited edition. These are high quality sunglasses. The quality is there, okay? And it really is an experience, and you get the box and you get it numbered, and each pair is numbered and all of that. It's almost like art, okay? So that's really what you're paying for. If you, I mean, it seems like you already like the designs, but if you're into that, you might also be interested in, have a look at Linda Farrow. Because she also is, a lot of them are 24 karat gold plated. I think she has a little bit more of like a fashion-y twist to her. She does a lot of sunglasses for like the Attico and Magda Butrym and whatever else. So that probably wasn't helpful. Are they worth the spend? Listen, I also am like, are any glasses over 1,000 worth it? In the grand scheme of things, probably not. But also, I like them and they're great and the quality is there. And if you are somebody that doesn't lose sunglasses, then yes. If you are somebody that cannot be trusted and will lose sunglasses, do not buy them. I've noticed a couple of ones come up. Number one, the Loewe Madrid bag. This is an everyday bag. So this is for like shoulder crossbody. This is not like a bag that's going to do well for, I want to have a little evening moment or anything like that. So keep that in mind, because I know it's a lot of money. You have to go in store to get it, blah, 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 all of that business. So if you are looking for every day, you don't need the bells and whistles, maybe you want to add some charms, great. If you're looking for something that's going to do a little bit more, then no. The next one actually that's come up, and this is a little bit shocking to me, is Jaeger LeCoultre. The Reverso is my favorite watch from that brand, right? You basically have this like cute little, you can reverse the face so that you can have it there staring at you like a normal watch, or you basically reverse it and it's got like a fun little design or just the gold or whatever kind of thing. I think that it is wildly underrated, and it's very much a sort of quiet luxury, if you know, you know piece. but it is great, and there's lots of like really cool and interesting versions that you can get it in. The YSL Khaite 99 Raffia or the Bottega Andiamo clutch. I would 100% go for the Bottega Veneta Andiamo clutch. I am not the biggest... YSL bags have to really stand out for me to like them, and I am not a fan of that tassel that's hanging off there. So no to that, yes to the Andiamo clutch. The Nell Coat, why can I not pronounce that? The Nell Coat collection. This is very boho kind of vibe, and you've said which of these? None of these totes at the bottom, not the belt bag. It would have to be either, not these, I would say either. If you want it, you want it to be very recognisable of the collection, right? You want it to feel part of the collection. At which point, I think it's maybe the fringe bag. Obviously, there's a lot going on there. I don't know if that's your vibe, but also if you've said this collection, then maybe it's your vibe. If you want something a little bit more simple, then I would say the little shopping tote. But if you want to do it, then it's the shoulder bag with the fringes. This is an interesting one. Tiffany small heart necklace with a small diamond. No, like, okay, so your concern here is that it will look too kiddish. Do not care about that in the slightest, okay? If you want to wear something that you think is like juvenile but you like it, do it. We're getting a lot of the Andiamo. Bottega Andiamo for everyday work. Is it timeless or will it go out of style? I think this is very much a timeless piece. This is very much not something that feels overly trendy or that will, you know, like, oh, in 2 years' time I'm gonna be like, oh, the sodding Andiamo tote. It is it's quite a simple bag style that I don't think it's going to sort of have that outcome. Bang Bang Vanity or the YSL Vanity. Bottega's looks classic, but the price increase. If you can still swing it, do the Bottega one. I think that it just looks a little bit cleaner compared to the YSL one. I think the YSL one is also much bulkier. Chloe jellies, you don't need them. No, trust me, you don't. Why has it got a weird little heel? What was the point of the heel there? Why couldn't we just keep it flat? If it was flat, I wouldn't have this visceral reaction for it. I do not know, you don't need those. The Hermes mini Medor bag. I really like this. I think it's weird and like slightly impractical, quite a bit impractical, but just really interesting. And I like that about it, and I think the colour is great. I love the fact that it's got, you know, the Medor sort of like, whatever that is, it's plaque there. It's just a bit weird and fun, so definitely up my alley. The Cartier Santos watch, is it overdone? Absolutely not. First of all, that's a classic. Second of all, it is the first wristwatch ever. There's a whole story to do with the pilot and whatever else, and it's actually named after that pilot, but I love this watch. My dad has this watch with the dark green face that's really beautiful. It comes with a all steel strap and a green crocodile strap as well. Beautiful, stunning, looks great in every size. Really, really classic. I would do this in a large. I would. I've considered this. I tried there. There was a lot. I can always do another. Really randomly, somebody said here, okay, I've just seen another one, and you know I feel very passionately. What should my next bag be? I'm between a Fendi Baguette or a Chloe Paddington. Baguette every step of that way. The Paddington, she gives me a little bit trendy vibes, okay? The Baguette is, you know how I feel. She's a classic, she's great, she's wonderful. I will always do more of these, so apologies if I didn't get to yours, but hopefully next time. I'm going to leave a link to another video over here in case you're not already seeing it. Have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. And in the words of my father,
if you've enjoyed it, tell your friends. If you haven't, keep your mouth shut.
I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.